So, all right. At school, little Johnny's classmate tells him that most adults are hiding at least one dark secret. So it's very easy to blackmail them by saying, I know the whole truth. So little
Mm.
Johnny decides to go home and try it out. So Johnny's mother greets him at home and he tells her, I know the whole truth. His mother quickly hands him 20 bucks and says, just don't tell your father. Quite pleased, the boy waits for his father to get home from work and greets him with, I know the whole truth. And the father promptly hands him 40 bucks and says, please don't say a word to your mother. Very
Mm.
pleased, the boy is on his way to school. The next day, when he sees the mailman at the front door, and the boy greets him by saying, I know the whole truth. The mailman immediately drops his mail and opens his arms and says, then come home to your daddy. A blonde, this is for you, I.
Okay. All
A
right.
blonde came up to the librarian and yelled, "This book sucks. There's way too many characters and the story makes no sense." And the librarian said, "So you're the one who took our phone book." Sense. A man goes to a bar and he sees a fat girl dancing on a table. He walks over and says, "Wow, nice legs." Flattered, she replies, "You really think so?" And the man says, "Oh, definitely. Most tables would have collapsed by now."
That's so awful. It's memes.
What's a Mexican's favorite sport?
Mm.
Cross country. Cross country.
Country, yeah.
You know, a German asks a Mexican if they have any Jews in Mexico. And the Mexican says, "See, we have orange Jews."
Oh, yeah.
How do you blindfold a Chinese person? You put floss over their eyes. Bob goes to see his friend Pete. He finds Pete in his barn dancing naked around his John Deere tractor. "What are you doing?" asks Bob. Pete stops dancing and says, "My wife has been ignoring me lately. So I talked to my psychiatrist and he said if I needed to do something sexy, to attract her."
To attract her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
A guy believed, hold on, excuse me. A guy believed his wife was cheating on him, so he hired a private investigator. The cheapest he could find was a Chinese dude. This was the Chinese private investigator's report about what he found. Excuse me, beer burps. Okay, that's not what it said. Anyways, so this is an entire report that he writes out, so this is what it says. "Most honorable sir, you leave the house, I watch house. He come to house, I watch. He and she leave house, I follow. He and she go in hotel, I climb tree. I look in window, he kiss she. He strip she strip he. He play with she play with he. I play with me, I fall out of tree. I not see, no fee, Ching Li." A blonde and a redhead have a ranch. They've just lost their bull, so the woman needs to buy another one. But they only have $500. So the redhead tells the blonde, "I'll go to the market and see if I can find one for under that amount. If I can, I'll send you a telegram." So she goes to the market and finds one for $499. Having only $1 left, she goes to the telegraph office and finds out it costs $1 per word. She's stumped on how to tell the blonde to bring the truck and trailer. Finally, she tells the telegraph operator to send the word "comfortable." Skeptical, the operator asks, "How will she know to come with the trailer with just that one word?" And the redhead replies, "She's a blonde, so she reads slow. Comfortable." A few months after his parents were divorced, little Johnny passed by his mom's bedroom and saw her rubbing her body and moaning and saying, "I need a man, I need a man." Over the next couple months, he saw her doing this several times. One day he came home from school and heard her moaning, and when he peeked into her bedroom, he saw a man on top of her. Little Johnny ran into his room, took off his clothes, threw himself on his bed, and started stroking himself and moaning, "I need a bike, I need a bike." A young boy comes home from school in a bad mood. His father asks him, "What's wrong, son?" The kid tells his dad he's upset because the other kid's been teasing him and calling him gay. My father says, "Well, punch him in the face next time he does that. I bet he'll stop." And the kid replies, yeah, but he's so cute. A boy's selling fish on the corner to get his customers' attention. He's yelling, damn fish for sale. Get your damn fish here. And a pastor hears this and asks, why are you calling them damn fish? And the boy responds, because I caught these fish at the local dam. The pastor buys a couple fish. He takes them home to his wife and asks her to cook the damn fish. Mm-hmm. The wife responds, surprised, I didn't know that was acceptable for a preacher to speak that way. And he explains to her why they are damn fish. Mm-hmm. Later at the dinner table, he asks his son to pass the damn fish. And his son responds, that's spirit, Dad. Now pass those fucking potatoes.
Oh.
A bus full of ugly people had a head-on collision with a truck. When they died, God granted them all one wish. The first person said, I want to be gorgeous. So God snapped his fingers and it happened. The second person said the same thing and God did the same thing. And this went on throughout the group. God noticed the last man in line was laughing hysterically. By the time God got to the last 10 people, the last man was still laughing hysterically, now rolling on the ground, laughing his ass off. Well, when the man's turn came, he laughed and said, I wish they were all ugly again.
Oh, that's just me.
Never wished with sets of people. Only one. There was a preacher who fell in the ocean. He couldn't swim. When a boat came by, the captain yelled, do you need help, sir? The preacher calmly said, no, God will save me. A little later, another boat came by and the fisherman asked, hey, man, do you need some help? The preacher replied again, no, God will save me. Eventually, the preacher drowned and went to heaven. The preacher asked God, why didn't you save me? And God said, fool, I sent you 2 boats. A man gets on a bus and ends up sitting next to a very attractive nun. Enamored with her, he asks if she can have sex. Naturally, she says no and gets off the bus. The man goes to the bus driver and asks him if he knows a way for him to have sex with that nun. I did not have sex with that nun. I'm sorry I had to do that. Well, says the bus driver, every night at 8 o'clock she goes to the cemetery to pray. If you dress up as God, I'm sure you could convince her to have sex with you. So the man, skeptical, he decides to try it and dresses up in his best God costume. Glitter gown, white beard. And at 8 o'clock he sees the nun and he appears before her and she goes, oh God, she exclaims, take me with you. The man tells the nun that first she must have sex with him to prove her loyalty. The nun says yes, but tells him she prefers anal sex. Before you know it, they're going down and they're getting at it, nasty, grunty, loud sex. And as it's over, the man pulls off his God disguise and goes, ha ha, I'm the man from the bus. And the nun says, ha ha, removing her costume, I'm the bus driver. On their way to get married, a young Catholic couple is involved in a fatal car accident. The couple find themselves sitting outside the pearly gates, waiting for St. Peter to process them into heaven. While waiting, they begin to wonder, could they possibly get married in heaven? When St. Peter showed up, they asked, can we get married in heaven? He's like, well, I don't know. This is the first time anyone's ever asked me that. Let me go find out. And he left. And the couple sat and waited. 2 months passed, and the couple was still waiting. While waiting, they began to wonder, what would happen if it didn't work out? Could you get a divorce in heaven? After yet another month, St. Peter finally returned, looking somewhat bedazzled or whatever. Yeah, he informed the couple, you can get married in heaven. Great, says the couple. But we were just wondering, if things didn't work out, could we also get a divorce in heaven? St. Peter, red-faced with anger, slammed his clipboard on the ground. What's wrong? Asked the frightened couple. Oh, come on, St. Peter shouted. It took me 3 months to find a priest up here. Do you have any idea how long it's going to take me to find a fucking lawyer?